So when I was going through this topic and I was thinking about this topic and I was thinking, okay, are women values as it should be in today's generation? I then thought of what is a woman's value? Like, where does she stand in today's generation? Then I thought, let me go back to when women were first created. And I'm a Christian, and when woman was first created, or when she was first made, was Genesis 2 verse 18. And the TLB version says, and the Lord God said, it isn't good for a man to be alone. I'll make a companion for him, a helper suited to his needs. But that's just me, I'm a Christian, so that's how I see when women were first made. And a woman, obviously Eve was made for Adam as a helper. It says here that she was a helper suited his needs. So women are helpers, you know how women are and around the house, you know, women are naturally helpers anyways. However, that's just one aspect of like how I was doing the research and how I was seeing it. However, a male gaze theory, that I really, really like this theory, and it's by Laura Mulvey, and she's like she's a lecturer at in a uni, I don't know where, but she came up with this male gaze theory, and in her book, she said, in a world ordered by a sexual imbalance, pleasure in looking has been split between active male and passive female. The determining male projects is fantasy onto the male figure, which is styled accordingly. The traditional role as women are stimulously looked at and displayed with the appearance coded for strong visual impact so that they can be said to connote to be looked atness. Women displayed as sexual objects, she holds the looks and plays a role to a significant male desire. Now, in quote, what the male gaze theory is, and what she basically is saying is that women are portrayed as like sex objects, as something good to look at for the male. And she was studying the 1950s. Now at that time, majority of Hollywood was dominated by producers, male writers, male audience. And so that's why they sexualize women a lot. If you look at the older James Bond movies, you'll see that women are all sexy, they haven't got much clothes on, because it's predominantly made by males, and there was a male audience, so males like to look at that, so that's how they portrayed women. And even now, like, we only celebrated this year the 100 years of women even being able to vote. So it's only like kind of like now, not kind of now, like this year now, but it's kind of like as of recent that women are kind of like now kind of getting their voice out there now. Like even in the film industry, there's not even many women out there, you know, like that are even in that sector. So coming out of all of this politics and all of this background research and opening up to you guys, are women valued as they should be in this generation? What do you guys think? Girls, boys? Don't speak unless you've got the mic. Go on.
I don't think that women are valued as they should be in society today. I feel like, you know, women are really strong. And I feel like I don't feel like I'm being biased. I feel like I'm actually, this is my truth. I don't know, you could disagree, but I feel like women are really strong in comparison to men. Like I feel like in terms of the things that they go through, you know, childbirth, our periods, you know, it's a lot, and I don't feel like we get the recognition that we are due. In terms of being a mother and holding down the house, you know, that's a full-time job in itself, and there's loads of mothers out there who also work full-time. So it's just, I feel like women, we're huge in society, and I don't think we get that recognition. So, yeah.
Dope. She said something, guys. You guys might have, I don't know if you was triggered by it, but she said that she thinks that women are more stronger than, like, the males.
Yeah, I think
The mic at the top, yeah.
Hi. This thing ain't even on.
Speak loud.
Oh, it's not for us. Okay, stunned. No, man, agree with her. 100%.
So you think women are stronger than males? Yeah. Not in terms of physically.
No, yeah, not. Well, goes per individual physically, but like as an overall thing, 1,000%, like, just based off, not just solely based off, but just looking at my mum, for example, I can vouch for everything that she's said. Like mentally, they tend to be stronger and whatnot. I feel like it goes from culture to culture, whether they're appreciated, well, where their appreciation actually kind of comes from. Like some cultures appreciate them for their handiwork, whereas like other cultures like put them on a pedestal above men and whatnot. So it goes from culture to culture, but yeah, like within like England, London, I feel like they're starting to find a voice for themselves where they're empowering themselves. However, yeah, there's still a long way to go. But I think that applies to a lot of other things as well, like black people, and yeah.
So, you said, very good point, let's clap for him. You said you said that they're stronger as in terms of mentally. Now, this is kind of brings back to something that I see a lot on Twitter. It's kind of like we raise our kids, like guys, to not cry, and girls, it's okay to cry. And it's like, no, a boy's not supposed to cry because he's a guy and he's not supposed to cry. So they kind of grow up with that, with the mindset that I'm a guy, I'm not supposed to cry, I'm not supposed to show emotions, I'm not supposed to show like my feelings. Whereas a girl, if she cries, it's okay. Like she drops, she cut herself, it's okay. Like she can cry because she's a female. So maybe, I don't know if you guys agree, but maybe it comes to play with like how we grow up, like the mentality of like the characteristics like a man's supposed to have and like a woman's supposed to have. Maybe that also like comes into play. But I thought that was really interesting. Shax.
Hi. My opinion on it, I wouldn't say, all right, how can I word this? All right, I'm not going to say that women are stronger than men or men are stronger than women. I feel that there's a lot of things that women endure more than men. So obviously there's certain things that you did mention, they're all biological. So a man can't bear a child, like he can't have a child, he don't get periods. So you can't really put them up against each other because they don't equate to the same thing. And I feel like society now, feminism, where they're fighting for like women's equal rights and stuff, it's like everything, a lot of their points is trying to say, but we are better than men. And it's like, if you want to be equal to a man, I don't really feel like your points should be like, I'm better at this, I can do this, I can do that. Do you get what I mean? I feel like you have to play on other things. So obviously, like, I'm all here for women empowerment and all of that, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's right to kind of belittle a man. Do you get what I mean? Because then it's like, you want to be in the position of a lot of these men and stuff like that. So it doesn't mean like, you don't need to tear them down, if you get what I mean, and say, oh, but you're not as strong as me in this, you're not as strong as me in that. I feel like, yeah, I just feel like feminism sometimes it's a bit degrading to men, and it's like, so, you know, you don't want a man to look to you and say, oh, well, you should be in the kitchen, da 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 da, but then you're gonna then say, well, I can do more than you. I have the part, like I'm gonna have a child and still have a family and still do this and still do that. But you then have a lot of men that go out and they work hard to actually provide for their family, and they don't ask their women for help. Do you understand me? And it's not that they think less of them, it's because they want to then provide for them. Do you get what I mean? So I just, you know.
That's a good point. Good point.
I just want to say one thing in regards to career-wise, anything like that. Any job a man can do, a woman can do too, okay? You can't tell me anything that a man can do in this world today that a woman cannot do. Yes, we endure a lot of pain, but what I will say, women are a lot more resilient when it comes to anything. We're a lot more resilient. Yes, we are taught from a young age to be more emotional, show more emotions, it's okay, but that doesn't still mean that we don't get the job done. Just because I may cry along the way doesn't make me less of a person than a man who doesn't cry. Just because he chooses not to cry doesn't mean I am inferior because I did cry. In a place where, well, for example, my job where I work, there's 8 managers. I'm the only female manager. I manage over 360 staff. 10 of them are women. So when it comes to work-wise, where it's especially with a lot of the stuff that's coming out in the media, with how businesses are getting shown how much they're paying women, how much less they're paying women compared to men, but yet they're doing the same job role. In my job, the business I work for, more than 60% of women leave in the first 6 months. So what women need to do, a lot of females, what we need to do is do the job properly and show that, yes, we're working on a backlog, because yes, we got the vote 100 years ago, but that was only women of 30 plus. That wasn't all women. That was only women of 30 plus. So yes, that's 100 years to celebrate that, but there's still a lot of change we need to go. And what I do want to say on this point is the fact that women don't help each other. That's why we become an easy target. That's why men still don't give us the full recognition, the full respect that we deserve, because as women, I can say sometimes we don't fully encourage one another, we don't support one another, we can be quite petty, we can be quite bitter, and that's why we're always seen as the weaker sex, because sometimes whether you agree with it or not, we just don't support each other. So it makes it, we become an easier target. So for example, when the whole feminism movement is starting, and women are starting to march together, we have our marching days and stuff like that, it becomes so empowering, becomes so powerful, because it's not something that's normal, where it needs to be normal, it needs to be celebrated that women do stand by each other. That's when you become a force to be reckoned with.
You guys have brought on a lot on this thing, like women, I will cry along the way, I will get emotional, but we haven't said that about a man. We've just said that a guy will be able to do the job, but maybe the woman gets a bit emotional. I'll bring the mic down that way. All right, I'll bring the mic over there, then up to Kat again. But it's kind of like, okay, so like, it's just down to like characteristics. A woman ought to cry, and then she ought to do that.
I'm just gonna say one quick thing. Going off what someone said about the characteristics of females and males, I don't think that, like for instance, if someone said something hurtful towards a woman, and that person said the exact same thing to a male, a woman might cry and a man might not. But that don't mean that the man hasn't felt exactly what the woman did. We just wouldn't cry, because for whatever reason, I might be just as mad as the woman, or just as, do you understand? But I won't cry, but the woman will. For instance, at work, if someone said, I don't know, if a woman came into work and was hard, no, if a man was hard on a woman at work and she started crying, and a man was hard on a male at work and he started crying, everyone's gonna think, raw, my man's a man, why is he crying? Do you get me? But like, it's not okay for us to cry, but it's okay for women to cry. But on another point, I don't think there's anything on this planet that a man can do that a woman can't. I just think that women show emotion a bit more than males. That's all I think.
But then does that not boil down to what I said earlier, that how we were brought up, that a guy can't cry? But then that really does eat you up, because sometimes guys, when me and my best friend went out and we spoke to guys, turns out they didn't really talk about how they felt so much. And that kind of can eat you up, the fact that you don't feel like you can talk to, I don't know what he tweeted, but I'm caught a bit off guard. But I think AJ Tracy tweeted something like that. He tweeted something like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he spoke about, like, I thought it was nice that he spoke about, because he's a boy and he's obviously in a position of influence as well, and he spoke about talking about his feelings, and that's something that you don't really hear often from a guy to do. Like, girls, if you get a guy that talks about his feelings, some girls...
Can I just say one thing? Sorry.
Come on, you do your thing.
If I was chatting to a girl, I'm trying to get to know this girl, yeah, and I've sat her down and I'm telling her about my feelings, like, I like you, the girl's actually gonna think, raw, he's moist, or he's a sweet boy, or but if I wasn't to talk about nothing and I just did the hard man thing, that girl's gonna be more attracted to me. Like, why is that? It depends on the girl. It depends on the girl.
All right. Hello. Hi. Hey. All right. Cat, darling, sweetie, beloved. That just, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, it depends on the female. Like some girls, like for me, if I met a guy and he spoke, if I met a guy and he opened up about how he felt about something, I would love that because he's being open, like he can trust me.
Can I just say with
Charlotte,
ages?
don't cut me.
Sorry, can I just say that's with age. I mean, if you're reaching 30, 27, and a guy's coming, you're trying to get married, and he tells you, "I love you," like this, and you're all ears. You ain't trying to shut that down. You're not here for no roadman thing about I don't show emotion. No, you want to hear that because you want a ring.
Girls, what do you think about what he just said?
I think it's an age thing.
Do you know what? Do you know?
All right, let's give it to the person with the mic. Let's give it with the.
I
Let's
just
give it
think
to the
it's
person
weird.
with the mic.
Like, I just think it's really weird if girls do feel like they want to go through that like bad boy image where they don't show their feelings and all of that. That's neglect. If somebody's not showing you their real feelings, they're neglecting you. What kind of relationship is that?
I'm not gonna lie though. Let's just bring it. Let's not.
But I'm saying if they do,
let's be honest.
if they do, it's
we
weird.
you like a guy, yeah, that he'll be able to protect you. He'll be able to be there for you. You like that. So if he's coming to you and he was like a bit, no. This is where it comes to probably like a balance. Where it's a balance where he can show that he can talk about his feelings, and then he.
But can I just say that? Can I just say that? No,
Let's
okay.
not knock that off because
All right,
if he was coming too sweet and then next time a robber
Wait. Let me just say, like, socialization is a big thing. I think in terms of like when you're growing up, you're a girl or boy, you're socialized a different way. The girl wears pink, the boy wears blue. The girl gets certain chores, the boys get certain chores, and it's, like I think that has a lot to do with how boys and girls are seen in society.
Is that not double standards?
Yeah, it is double standards. Totally agree with you. And the way that boys are told not to cry and man up is a huge problem in society today because guys end up holding in all of this aggression. Crying is an outlet. No, why are you moist if you're crying? Like, crying is an outlet. You need to, like, take your emotions somewhere. It's better out than in. And that's how I feel about the way that guys are sort of like the violence towards women and, women's bodies. They feel like, they're entitled to it and stuff like that. It's all a part of that problem, being socialized in that way. And I don't think it's right.
I love that, Nana. Let's cut Do you feel like you can cry in front of a woman? Like you can open up to her? No, answer my question. Do you feel like? Yeah. All right, so I'm hearing some yes. Is that the DJ saying yeah? All right, Famsy, I see you. All right, wait, where's the mic? All right, Elias, and then I'll go up to Tex, and then I'm going to go to you, and then this topic can go on for ages, but go on.
I mean, because of how we're raised, how we're brought up, I mean, like, when I was coming up, my mum was like, if you get slapped, why are you crying? You understand? But my sister...
Is that not an African thing?
Yeah, but my sister, if they start crying, you go to bed, you understand? So if I'm talking to a girl, and I'm here like, oh, I love you, and I'm crying my eyes out, like, she's going to look at me like, oh, are you all right? If you know what I mean.
That probably has to do with upbringing, no?
I don't know about that.
Joseph?
To be honest with you, as a man, it is hard to show your emotion to women. I'll be honest. The reason why is that it's because of how we've been brought up and what we've been exposed to as well. So, like, growing up, you won't see a lot of elders in the area showing their true emotions to females. I'm a believer, so I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. So, I looked for a man, I looked to Christ as a man. He showed his emotion, he cried, he showed compassion. So it was a thing of like, if he's showing that, then it's absolutely fine for a man to show his emotion. But the thing about it is that sometimes guys are worried because they don't want to be seen as something they're not. Like if I'm coming to a girl and I'm crying, I'm saying, you know what, I love you. And then it's a bit of pride as well, because it's a thing of like, imagine I'm coming to you and say I love you and stuff, and then you go back to your friend's group chat and say, imagine this guy is telling me this, and then I found out, and it just makes me feel.
No, we need
way.
something popping in the group chat though.
But, it depends on the guy's how the person's been brought up as well. Because I remember when I was growing up, to be honest with you, I don't really share anything with my mum, and that's still a kind of a challenge till
We're going
now.
to talk about that in the next episode.
Because
It's African parents, I tell you.
Not only them. No, and it's something that I challenge with a bit now, is that, like with my dad, I can open up, but with my mum, it's like, it's a struggle, because when I was growing up, there wasn't a door for me to go to my mum and tell my mum, you know what, I'm struggling with this, because you don't want to be judged.
Can you guys relate to what he's saying? Okay. All right, go on.
Come see. So, but it's a bit like that. So sometimes guys do tend to grow up in that sort of way and don't open up to female. But I'm not saying it applies for every single male, because everyone's different. But yeah, that's my 2 pence.
Do you want to put the sweets away?
Man just wanted to say, sorry, my licorice. Man just wanted to say that, trust, as I said, man just wanted to say, trust, we can carry on doing this the whole night. Anyway, I just wanted to say that all these, like everyone's answers, they're going to be subjective, and we're all going to generalize things. So no one's going to have the right answer for that applies to everyone, innit? But generally speaking, with a man showing emotions, oh yeah, I need to. Sorry, I'm out of control. Yeah, like generally speaking, I feel like it kind of depends on the demographic and whatnot, like age to age, like from 18 to around 20, I don't know, 22, I don't know, something like that. There's a lot of girls from our background and whatnot. If men start like, oh babes, like man love you, you know, like I'm out of control. Like she's gonna look at me like I'm out of control. Like oh babes, like you know, man love you. I've always loved you. Blah 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 blah. See it? You see? You see? No. If the If the situation, If the situation, like, if the situation means that man's crying, cause she. Why not? Wait. You see? No. But you see? No. Cause wait. Let me finish. Let me land. Alright, cool. Man did not paint out the situation. Yeah. The situation could be, she's leaving me because over something small, like we've been having too many arguments and whatnot, over like petty stuff though, like no cheating thing and that. So man just decided to break down. Yeah, this never happens to me, but man just so I just decided to break down. Man, love you, babe. Like I love you. Yeah. You're still gonna look at me like, why are you crying? Like you're out of control, kind of thing, innit? And then that's what I'm saying. Like, not you. Let me finish, cause I did say that none of this can be applied to everyone. Everyone in the stream came to circle time, meaning you lot like emotions and stuff. You get me? But like, you get no. I'm being, huh? No, like. You lot, you lot like being intimate and stuff like that. Trust. But then there's other girls that would never come to something like this because it's too like touchy, too this and that. You get what I'm saying? So like there's other girls that if man show like a weakness or something like that to you, and I can name them like Bianca. No, I'm joking. But like I don't know Bianca. But yeah, no. But like generally speaking, like there's a lot of girls that wouldn't like a man showing emotion. So like this is just me personally with the whole guys crying and stuff.
Like, for example, when it comes to my wedding day, I expect my future husband to cry when I walk down to the altar. I'm expecting it. Like, when I give birth to our first child, I'm expecting you to cry at what you see. So I'm not trying to hear a guy in the hospital like, no, I can't cry, man's a man. No, I just gave birth, like, you're gonna cry. So it's like for me, I'm totally fine with that. Touch wood, if my partner's mum or someone was to pass away, I would want you to cry in front of me. I don't want you to think it's not a thing that you can't cry. Like, it will make me a lot more attracted to you if I knew that you were okay to show that. And also with the whole raising of how we were raised thing about boy and girl, what I wanted to bring, there was a quote that was flown around on social media, which is, when it comes to mothers, they raise their girls, but they baby their boys. And it's a thing. So if... so that's why when I said females are a lot more resilient, because it's like, especially when it comes to boys when they're younger, when you do something wrong, or if you're upset, your mum will baby you. Whereas if you're a girl, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone's household, but in the African culture, it's like, you better wash those dishes once you clean them. If it's like, you're definitely taught a lesson, like, you know right from wrong, you're raised right, you're headstrong, yeah, you're disciplined. Whereas a guy, you're babied. So.
Right, Kad.
I just want to say a quick point. The male suicide rate in the world right now is a lot higher than women's, and I think it's to do with things like this, like, because males are not meant to. Yeah, and I think it's to do with this kind of, like, not this, but you understand where I'm coming from, like, yeah.
Thank you, Kad. Lovely. That was such a beautiful topic, and I loved every bit of it. It was so exciting. And you know what I just learned? We went through kind of a lot of things like double standards. Went through a lot of things like double standards, stereotypes, being babied. My little brother's in the audience, and I look straight at him because he's always babied. Like, he gets whatever the heck he wants. And the other day, he got into trouble. And yeah, I'm gonna heat you up. He got into trouble, and I stood there and I watched it, and I was like, if this was me, I would have never ever got it so lightly. But he got it so lightly, he could even shout back at my mum and be like, "Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo." And I was like, if I even just open my mouth, I'll probably get into trouble. But yeah, it's different, and I love it. We didn't get to go further into the other topic, which I wanted to go into, was women being like so sexualized, like in music videos. They're always in smaller clothes, and males, the most that they will do is take off their top, and it's okay. But anyways, here we go. But yeah, beautiful topic. It was great. Thank you so much for joining, and thanks for all for watching. Till next time.